This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today I'm going to teach you Terraform. This is one of the tool which I'm going to cover today. Now, in Terraform, there are lots of topic which we have, but actually, if you focus properly, okay, I think I should be able to give you the right ending for this tool in 4 hours only. But what I need is your concentration. Okay, so let's focus and let's get started. So the first thing which I'm having in my mind, and that is, what is Terraform? What is Terraform? So if I see Terraform, everyone say, hey, this tool is for coding for infra. Yeah, infra. So this tool is made. Why? Because this tool is made where we can code for infra. Okay, code for infra. So now the next questions, coding we understand, but what is infra? So when we say what's in infrastructure. So when I say in infrastructure, let's say our infrastructure, your infrastructure for the production environment, testing environment. So I see the infrastructure, we have AWS, we have Azure, we have GCP, we have let's say uh, Kubernetes, okay, Kubernetes. We have OpenStack, okay. We have OpenShift, okay, OpenShift. We have many things. We have, let's say, Docker. So many things we have in infrastructure, okay. So I want to show you. I'll just give you visualization what we have in infra. What's in infra? So this is important topic. So let me show you the list of it. So look at this. This is growing 2424. The list of infrastructure now counting every day it's growing actually. So see that you have an infrastructure AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, and you see so many things we have. Okay, so I think you understood that there are so many things we have in infra. So now back to the question, what is Terraform? So Terraform is coding for infra. That means we will code for entire infrastructure using Terraform. Okay, so this also akka we call it. Akka means also known as infrastructure as a code. So basically, I'll teach you a little bit of coding today for the infrastructure automation. So next thing is this is the tool, okay, from the company which is this is the tool which is from the company which is called HashiCorp. Okay, HashiCorp. Now, those who have no idea about the HashiCorp, they have multiple products. They have a product which is like a Vagrant, Terraform, Packer, Vault, Nomad, Consul. So many products they have. Okay, and all these products they developed basically is to automate the SDLC cycle. Okay, so this is the HashiCorp. You spend please some time here and look at their product here. See here, Terraform, Packer, Consul, Vault, Boundary, Nomad, Waypoint, Vagrant. So many products they have. Okay, so this is the company. They have so many products, and Terraform is one of them, which I am teaching you today. Now, this tool has been written in Golang. Yeah, Go. So that means if you want to customize anything, then you can do in a Golang. On top of it, Golang is a platform independent. Platform independent means if you ask me, Rajesh, can I run Terraform in Windows? Yes, you can run. Can I run Terraform in Linux? Yes. Can I run Terraform in Mac? Yes, you can do that. So now, in terms of releases, okay, in terms of releases, okay, so we have a one release which is called Terraform. Then we have one other release which is called Terraform Enterprise. Okay, Enterprise. And then we have Terraform Cloud also. Okay, so Terraform, this one which I'm teaching you, Terraform Enterprises and Terraform Cloud, this is not a part of this session. Okay, but I'll give you a little bit of visualization. So Terraform is a command line tool and it's a free. Okay, it's a free. But Terraform Enterprise is a GUI based actually, and it's not free. Okay, and Terraform Cloud is also GUI based, not free, but hosted by Terraform. Okay, so that is something which you can check it out. So Terraform Cloud, this is the one. See here, anyone can get a free account started actually, not a problem. Okay, so anyone can start the free account. And Terraform Enterprise, you have to set it up. This you can set it up in the your office environment in your and inside your firewall. This is at the cloud and so on. Okay, so this is the some of the things. Now the version, I'll just check from that one from Terraform only, because every week there is a release actually, so that is a very difficult to remember. So yeah, it's 1.2.8. so this is the version right now we have. Okay, so I had started somewhere from the 0.x, so they have a weekly release and stuff like that. So now we understand some of the ideas about what is Terraform. So primarily we use Terraform for coding for infra, and infra we have, I showed you more than 2000 plus platform which I can code using Terraform. So now the question is why we need it? Why we need it? And answer is simple, because I've been discussing yesterday also. So we do the coding. I've been telling you yesterday also. I hope you remember. Coding for the product. Slowly we are getting the coding for the testing the product, which we are doing, testing a product. Slowly we are doing coding for infra also, coding for CI/CD also. Okay, coding for security also. So nowadays we are starting doing coding for everything. Why? Because we want to automate everything. The see, earlier you were running application in one server, but nowadays we are running application in AWS, you are running application in Google Cloud, you are running in Azure, you are running in Kubernetes, you are running in that. Multi is a distributed architecture now. It's a distributed architecture, and all this is scattered. So earlier it was earlier everything was on one platform. Now it's a multi-cloud platform, multi-provider platform. The complexity is growing actually. Number of services, microservices is also growing. The entire world is working on the API concept now. You are talking to other services internally, API, other people from externally also people are talking to API. So we have to automate everything in infra side also. So primarily why we are trying to automate, the reason is we want to implement We want to spend time on the right things, not like repetitive work, manual work. We want to do meaningful work, and for that we do the coding for infra. So some of the regions I'll not bore you with the lots of theory, because more or less we understand why we have decided to write a code for infra also. So now the next question is how Terraform, that's a very important question, how Terraform can code for entire infra. That is the main question. You must be thinking, how can it be possible Terraform can code for entire infra? So architecture, then basically I'm discussing the architecture, but I'm putting this word, how Terraform is capable of doing it. So I'll tell you here, just look at this image, this one. Let's say if you want to automate AWS, then you will use CloudFormation. If you want to automate Azure, then you will use ARM. For GCP also there are some services. Kubernetes also, YAML, Helm, this, that, Alibaba, and all these things. So if you look at this, how many tools we have? So that means 2424 right now. That means, am I going to learn 2424 types of scripting, types of coding to automate it? Think about it. I'll get crazy. By the time I'll deliver everything, I'll become old. I'll die probably, because so much of things are there, right? So the question is what to do. So we write a one code. Please understand that we write a one code, one standard, one specification, and then for 2424 platforms. These all are platforms, by the way. Okay, these all are tools. So one code, one standard, one specification for all this. Is it possible? So actually everyone should use only one coding standard. One specification is not possible. Not possible. AWS has their own coding standard. Azure has their own coding and specification. It's not possible. So what Terraform has done it, that is the things which you need to understand. That's called Terraform architecture, and which I need to explain it to you. So let's put it in a simple way. And this is the important one. So now let's call it, this is the AWS, this is the Azure, this is the Google Cloud. Okay. Now, have you noticed, if you want to automate AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, all the communications travel through the API. Okay. Think simple always. API. All the communications travel through API. So that means if anyone wants to automate, they need to connect to the, what do you say, API. I'll put it up. Just think simple always. Azure, JC. Okay, I'm not using slides because slides will convert my session from few hours to few days. So I'm just using my own way to cover the more topic in less span of time. So let's say you want to automate, so you will talk to API. This will talk to API. If someone else want to automate, they will also talk to API. If any tools also want to automate, then also they will talk to API. Simple logic, because AWS allows only API access for automation. So this is that. This is the reality. This is the reality. Now, one code means Terraform allow one code. So let me write a code. So that means this code which you are writing for the pictorial definition for presentation here, this is your one code. Okay, one code, one standard. Okay, different things. So this is the one code. Now the question is how this one code will be applied to AWS also, Google Cloud also, Azure also. How would that be possible? That is where the Terraform is coming into the picture. This is the Terraform. Okay, I'll change the color. This is where Terraform is coming in the picture. So now this is you. This is you. And you wrote this one code. Okay. Don't worry about the coding part. I'll teach you. That's very simple. Just ease your mind. Don't have a fear from technology. So this is the code you write. This code is for AWS. This code is for GC. This code for Azure. One code, one specification, one standard. You need to learn only one coding standard. That's all. I will not say two, four, because you want to automate these all platform, maybe 20 platform. So you need to learn 20 things. No. So you learn one thing, which is I'll teach you. This coding standard, we call it HashiCorp Configuration Language, HCL. Okay, one code. Just you need to learn one code. And then this code, you will send it to Terraform. Terraform is one executable. I repeat, don't complicate your mind. I said Terraform is one executable. When I say executable, I'll show you before only. So you will have a visualizations. So I install all of my tools in the C tools. So where is a Terraform? Here it is. This is executable. Nothing great about to think about it. Just copy it. That's all. Wherever you want, you just copy it and use it. So it's sent to the Terraform. This code you write and send to the Terraform. Now the confusion is this AWS is having different specification. Google Cloud is having different specification. Azure have a different specification. So what Terraform is doing, reading this code, one code which you write, one code, and as per the specification, they send to some place which you can, for starting point, you can say converter. So this is one converter for AWS, this is one converter for GC, and this is one converter for Azure. So the Terraform required converter to convert this script to the different platform. That means if you have a 20 sorry, if you have a 2424 tools to automate in infrastructure, that means that many converters are there. Okay, so that this code, because Terraform understand what platform you are trying to ask automation for it, so the Terraform detect this code and send that to individual converter. Okay, and this converter make a API request to AWS with a credential, whatever the resources you want to create. Resources means what? Resources means virtual machine for time being. Don't complicate yourself. In AWS, what you have? Virtual machine. Google Cloud, what you have? Virtual machine. Azure, what you have? Virtual machine. What you have? A storage in AWS. Google Cloud also storage. Azure also storage. Networking. Database. Everywhere is the same services. Okay. So you write a one code for entire infrastructure, and from here is sent to Terraform. Terraform sent to this converter which I'm using right now, and then this converter sent to the API call, and if requests patterns are valid, AWS will receive it and perform the action as it is. Now this converter, what we call it? So this
One question
converter
I have.
actually, hello?
Sorry to interrupt. One question I have. Does Terraform only support these three cloud platforms?
No, I'm showing you again and again from last half an hour, maybe this one, this.
Yeah, no. From cloud platform perspective.
Not,
Okay.
or not one, everything. AWS, see here list, AWS, Azure, GCP, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, everything, Oracle Cloud, everything supported. So that's what I was saying, 2424. Whatever you cannot even think of it, Terraform supports. Simple. If you want to have a specific, tell me the cloud name. What is your cloud preference? What is your cloud
No, I
preference?
just wanted to know if there are other cloud also included.
Everything. For time being, just I'll put it in a simple way. Whatever you can think of it is supported. Now, if you want to validate, come to this page and search for it. So here, let me show you public cloud. These are the public cloud supported, and the private cloud also. Cloud, you will have a VMware and all. These are the other cloud providers, and yeah. So if you give a name, no, it'll be easy because 2400 entries are there. So like, got it?
Yes.
So now this is a something which we do. But by the way, these three providers itself is capturing almost 95% of the market share: AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Okay, so that is the stuff. So I was talking about something else. Huh? So this I used to tell you converter, but actually you don't call it the converter. What we call it, you know? We call it provider. So here we need three provider. This is a provider, AWS provider. Okay, this is a GCP provider. Without a provider, Terraform will do nothing. And this is also Azure provider. Now you say, Rajesh, what is a provider? I mean, what form it is there? Nothing. It's just executable again. Like this will be also executable. Where? I'll show you. Just give me some time. So see the architecture of Terraform. This is you. You are the smartest engineer right now, and you write a one. You just need to learn only one code, and that code specification we call it HCL, HashiCorp Configuration Language. And you write whatever you want a desire, whatever you want. AWS, you know how many services we have? 4,000 services. GC, Azure also have a something similar. So whatever you want from AWS, GC, Azure, Kubernetes, Docker, this, that, you write it in HCL, this code, send to Terraform. Terraform will distribute this command code to the provider. Provider will call that to the API, and AWS will respond if every request is as per the process, okay, and as per the specification, and then response will be stored in the, let me change the color actually. Response will be stored in one file. So guys, anyone have idea what is the format of API response? Anyone?
Yeah, I think like it is JSON format, right?
Wonderful. Yes, you know that. So it response always stored in the JSON format, and this file, you know what we call it? We call it state file. Please remember that. We call it state file. I'll show you that all this thing, whatever I'm discussing. So the flow is
Actually,
very
you have
simple.
said, hello. Actually, you
Yeah.
have said one word. Like, can you repeat that word? Like in between this, like you have said that like this files will be stored in one place, right?
Which
You
one?
have used one word. Okay, like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
got it.
here, yeah. So here we write, you write a one code, send to Terraform, Terraform send to provider, individual provider as per the code, and make a API call, AWS perform, GC perform, Azure perform, and then make a state file. That's the response. Now then you will say, Rajesh, okay, I have a code, but how can I tell Terraform, hey, these resources I want to create, these resources I want to delete, or these resources I want to update. When I say resources, please don't complicate your mind. Resources means, okay, let me show you. So resources means resources. In a API world, everything is resources. Everything. Okay, let me show you. No matter whether you go to Azure or no matter whether you go to Google Cloud, anywhere you go, it's the same. Don't complicate. See here, this is called services, and if you go to services, let's say EC2 services, these all are resources. See here, resources. This all whatever you create is a resources. In GC also same way, Azure also same way. So don't get stick to one of these three. Try to think for the infrastructure level. Okay, everything. So resources means EC2 is a resources, VPC is a resources, storage is a resources, correct, like that. So now the question was, use which, how to tell Terraform like this one has to be created or updated or deleted. So the magic mantra is very simple, guys, and that's you have to remember. You have to remember only three commands: Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, and Terraform finally delete. Only these four commands you need to remember, and that is more than sufficient. More than sufficient. Okay. So this is how you can entire Terraform works. This is how. So this is architecture. Now this one I will share with you. You know, this architecture. Anyways, recordings will be there. I'll share with you. But this is something you can see that. So anyone who will ask you architecture, so you will say simply, hey, in architecture I am also there. I write a code, HCL code, and after that I send this code to Terraform with the Terraform init or plan or apply or delete. Then Terraform send to the providers. Provider make a call to API for that provider, AWS or whatever it is. The request is performed with that is creation or deletion or whatever it is, and then updation also, and then it store the response in state file, and I can query the state file and know the status. Okay, so this is something which we have it. So guys, architecture, at least you understand how this Terraform can allow you to code for entire infrastructure, all of you.
Yes,
Yeah, Rajesh, got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
so
Rajesh.
remember, you don't need to do anything, just you need to write a code, that's all. Rest of the things automatically happen. So now let's get started. First thing, downloading the Terraform. How do we download the Terraform? So guys, as I said, I think you should not complicate. Within, you can download within a 2 second. How? So this is the place. Let me write in the notes also. How to download. So copy from here as per your operating system, Mac, Windows, Linux, and all. And this executable, the one I'm showing you, copy it wherever you want. And this path you set in the environment variable, path environment variable. See. So here, set in the environment variable somewhere. You see path, edit, see here, done. Installation is done. So that's not a complex process, so not complicate yourself unnecessary. Now after this, what you will do, I should have verification whether it's installed or not. So first thing I'll go to my workspace where I write a code. So by the way, where I write a code? So Rajesh all, this is my directory, okay? And here workspace, and this is the directory. Today I'll create Terraform a weekend. Okay, so this is the directory. Today I'll write a code here only. Now this I will, because I'll create a few projects, so I'm creating project 1 prg1 empty directory. Okay, this is the one, so it's empty directory. So now what I'll do, command line, first I'll verify whether Terraform is really set or not. Enter, see, set. Now these are the commands which you need to learn, and here main commands. Now do you recall this, the same thing I said, right? Something similar.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, so remember always this command. Yes, more commands we should learn, but first be confident in the main command: init, plan, apply, delete. But you will have a question like what exactly this command will do. I'll show you the demo. So here this is done. Terraform installation verification is done. Now what to do? So I need to talk to my manager for that, what to do. I got to know Terraform can help us to write a code for entire infrastructure. I install the Terraform, I'll validate the Terraform, but where is a project actually? There is no project. So I'll create one dummy project for you. So my manager said, Rajesh, write a code. And let me tell you, I'm going to give you assignments to everyone. And you are all have to write a code for me. Okay. So write a code, and you are allowed to do the cheating, but blindly you should not do that, because Terraform are tools like that. You will have a hell lot of free code available in the market. So copy the code, but with the logic. So write a code to create EC2 instance in AWS. That's the first thing. Write a code to create network in AWS. Write a code to create repo at GitHub. Write a code, I'm just giving you example, write a code to create VM at GC, Google Cloud. So yeah, these are the requirements actually. You have to write it. Don't jump to the immediately coding. Every coders, every programmers, first what they do, they have a project, and after that they create a pseudocode. Pseudocode means step by step in ER diagram, and then they start coding actually. So don't jump to the code. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, so write a code to create EC2 instance. So for that, what provider I need? AWS provider I need. For this, what provider I need? So I need AWS provider I need. Write a code to create a GitHub repo. What provider you have need? Provider, GitHub provider you need. This one, Google provider I need. So coding I will write it first. Let's download the provider. Look at the image here. See, Terraform I got it. Provider I need it. Okay, so we'll get it. So this is a pseudo code which we have to do the coding. Now next thing is how to write a code. How to write a Terraform code. So simple guys. In Terraform, it's very simple structure. Okay, in Terraform we store the file in a .tf. Simple. File name, any, it can be any file name. It's not only that something like X, Y. It's not, there's no file specification. Any file name you can have it. So when I can have file any, then I can name it any also. Now, second specification you need to learn. All TF code from one directory, I'll say multiple, that way it will be easy. Multiple TF code from one directory is considered one code. Did you understand this statement? It's very important.
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay, that means I'll put it in this way. Let's say you have a AWS 500 resources you want to create, and these 500 resources you put it in a multiple TF code. But if it is in one directory, it's considered to one code only. So here, if you create a code for multiple files, you have a TF program for GitHub, GCP, AWS. Sorry. So it's considered to be one code only. So don't think, okay, this is separate code. It said multiple TF code in one directory is considered one code. This is the one code I'm showing you. This code you can divide into the multiple TF program. It's up to you. Management skill. Divide it, good for management. But Terraform, not a good thing. This is just the same thing. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say, all of you?
Yeah, like you would like to say if there is too many files in one directory and if you plan apply in it, you'll be considered it as a single code.
Perfect understand. Thank you. Okay, so now these are the some of the basic stuff. So now what to do? I have to download the provider. This is the provider. So how do I download? Manually also you can download it, but still very cumbersome process. So for that, can I write a code? So let me write a code. So here I decided I'll have one file, TF file for providers dedicated. Providers TF file. Okay. Now the question is how to download, how to write a code which will download the provider. So I don't know. I don't know. Simply you say to your mind, I don't know. I don't know how to download AWS, I don't provider, I don't know how to download GitHub and GCP. So whom should you ask? So I should ask provider itself. Hey provider, give me the details. How can I download you? So here AWS, click on it. And here all this thing, because if you're coming first time, don't rush, spend some time, get confident, read it and all stuff like that. See, this provider can do a lot of things, and go to the documentations. Now I'm asking you to go for documentation. So let me tell you guys, the latest technology, whatever you are learning, you should always refer the official documentation. Why? What is the reason for it? And the reason is very simple. Every month we are getting a release and every month we have a changes. So some code which we have written, someone has written 6 to 8 months back with the older version of Terraform will not work with which may not work with the new version of Terraform. So always refer the official documents and keep updating your code. That's your job. Okay. So yes, I am asking, hey AWS, tell me how can I download? And here AWS said, hey, no problem. You can take this one, this code, and this code will help you to download the provider, my provider. See here, what is this? This line, only this line is needed, and this line is for the conditioning, whether it has to be this version only, this is not required though. Only this line. This is the comment in Terraform. Okay, so provider AWS. So similarly, I'll go to other cloud. I'll go. Let's say go to the GCP. I'll say, hey GCP, tell me how do I download you? So here, enter. So one provider done, two provider done. I need to add some example of GitHub. So I will ask GitHub also. Go back. And where is the GitHub, by the way? I'll just search for it because it's too many. Okay, GitHub, all of you know. So I know that. So that's the reason I'm using. So I'll ask, hey, GitHub provider, tell me how do I download you? So they tell me, okay, no problem. Go for it. So like this, you see that AWS, I got it. Google, I got it. Don't worry about the internal right now because I just have a downloading provider and GitHub. So what to do now? How do I download the provider? So that is where you have to run the command and the magical command, and which is init. So I must share with you some of the documents also. So any Terraform documents, please refer my blog. And here Terraform workflow, workflow. And here this is advanced, this is the basics one. Okay, see here, init, plan, apply, destroy. So which command will help me to download the provider? Init. I repeat, if you want to download the provider or update the provider, the command which you should run is init. And you see here, it's downloading. Just wait for it. I'll show you. So first step I'm doing, downloading the provider. Done, guys. See here, it's initialized successfully. Now we'll say, Rajesh, okay, where is got downloaded? So actually it's got downloaded inside this one. In the same project location, it got downloaded. By the way, guys, mind it, this directory is hidden, so will not be shown. So you have to enable this views and all, and here where is the option? Here it is. So you have to enable this one. Okay, so this is the Terraform providers registry, HashiCorp, AWS, version, platform. This is the one. It's also executable. So see here, we did one step closure. Done. So now I downloaded the provider also. This is completed. Now what to do? So then I am going to start writing a code for it. Okay, this is the code. So in the TF program, the skeleton you need to understand. This is one resources, this is one resources, one like that, hundreds of resources. So in TF program, you will write resources, resource. Then after that what? So resource means EC2 example. So let me show you manual process first, and then I'll put it up here. That way you'll understand this. So go to manual process. This is the AWS. Create a VM, virtual machine instance. So see here, when you create a VM, you select AMIs here, you see step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, 4, 5, 6, all these options. See here, select the type, select here also, do here also, do here also, and then come here and then review. These are the things. So what we call it? So I have resources, but these resources, for that you have to give a specification also. How do I give it? I don't know. So I will ask AWS, because the EC2 is AWS, right? So I'll ask AWS. AWS, give me all of your resources, all of you. So can we go back? Documentation. And you see that, guys, you have to understand hell lot of services. I said no. AWS has 4,000 services. Google Cloud also has 3,500 services. Look at this here. These all are categories. Okay. So right now the category one which I'm hitting is compute. So starting with the EC2. Here it is. EC2, where is that? Here it is. Inside that, these are the resources. You can create a AMI, you can create a host, EIP, instance. This is we needed. Look at this, so many resources we have here under the one category. So many resources. So what was the decision? I want to create EC2 instance. So for that, this one will help me. So now you will say, Rajesh, how do you know? Because I know cloud, so probably you can correlate faster. If you don't know cloud, you have to learn, and that's the way. So here, AWS instance. Now, these all options, whichever you selected while creating a EC2 instance, here you have somewhere below, and that is called arguments. Okay, so here in resources, you have arguments 1, arguments 2, arguments 3, arguments 4, whatever is required or whatever you need it, and then resources 1 in TF program, 2, 3. This is the format you have to write it. So resources argument, resources argument, resources argument, resources argument, and that's your TF program. So if you want to create 400 resources, 400 specification with along with their arguments. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
So
Yes.
Yes.
then you'll say, Rajesh, how can I write it? Even I don't know. I don't know. I'll go and ask, hey, tell me, how can I create you? So here, I don't need a data. Okay, right now I'm not confusing you with the too many things. I need a resource, and only this code will work for me. Look at this. What you want? Resource. What is your provider? AWS resource name. Sorry, provider I specify. Resource name AWS underscore instance. What is this? So this is the name of this particular resources for Terraform. This is only for Terraform purpose, not for AWS purpose. Okay, fine. You want to create a resources, but what are the required field you have to give it? Required means, see, these are all our arguments we have, but some of these fields are required. So AMI is required. So what is AMI? So here, where is that? AMI, go back. Again, I'm doing. So you want Ubuntu 22. So this is the AMI ID. Put it up. What is the instance type? Let it be macro. It's a one CPU, one RAM. You want to tag it here. Done. Coding is completed, guys, for one instance. You want more resources? Keep on doing it like this. So can we first test this code? Let me see that. So what I decided, I'll write one more TF file, and here I'll put it AWS resources and TF, and here this is the code. So guys, are you comfortable so far? How do we write a code?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, Rajesh, got it.
Now let's test it, guys. Always remember this init, plan, apply, and delete. So now init, you learned that was to download the provider. Okay, but what is a plan? So guys, plan is basically a dry run. Okay, dry run. That means that they'll tell you that what other resources can be created, changed, or deleted. So Terraform plan. See, there is an error. You know one thing, guys, if you want to practice the DevOps, 80% of the time you have to spend on the errors. So don't get scared from the errors. Read each and every line and try to solve it. So I wanted to show you the errors like this. You will get it a lot and you have to solve it. I know that what is the error. So the error is this specifications should be in a quote, actually invalid reference. So what should I do? I think this will solve the problem. Okay, clear the screen. Now what is the error? Any help from here? Not able to fix it, this one.
It has
Any
to connect
Credentials of the AWS account.
credentials.
what you said?
Credentials of the AWS account.
Yeah,
We should link
look at
them to
this.
the credentials.
Look at this, guys. See, Terraform is just doing what we were doing manually on the UI part. Okay, nothing great about it. So I need access. You logged in using Rajesh account. So don't you think so? Logic, simple logic. Terraform need access also for this API. Not everyone can go and run the command. There should be proper authentications. So now what to
Anything
do?
needs access.
Huh?
Not only Terraform, anything needs access. When there is something
Any
remote,
API call. No, some API call is public also.
if it is
Public
exposed public.
some API depends on that. AWS is authenticated APIs. Okay, whether APIs is free for everyone. So like that. So what do we do in this case? How do we set the authentication? So guys, I don't know how do I set the authentication. I will ask a provider because AWS provider, no. So I'll ask AWS, hey AWS, tell me how can I set authentication? Basically, a little bit of cloud knowledge needed. So I'll just scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and found out, oh my God, there are 6 ways to authenticate. Which one you like, you decide. 6 way. This ways is nothing related to Terraform. These ways are related to AWS. So each provider will also tell you in their own documentation which are the method it's allowed for this provider. Okay, so you need to decide. Now, one of the ways which I am trying right now is like a worse way, non-secured way, but I'm trying it. Why? Because just I want to show you the how it is done. Right now, I don't want to talk about the best practices. I want to talk about how to use it for learning purpose. So what I will do, go ahead, securing credentials. I need this too. And secret key ID. This one is of last. I'll delete first. And I'm deleting the last one, okay? And creating a new for this session. And here, this is my key. Now the problem here is, how do I set this key, access key ID and secret ID? How do I set one of this method I'm trying? So how do I set? So I don't know. I will ask, can you tell me how do I set? So here they said, hey, yes, you can set it up like this. You have to read the documentation. Have a little patience. It'll help you. Once you read, you will get a confidence. Okay, understood this. So I'll go to the provider file and AWS copy. Now, what is the secret key? So this is the one. What is this one? This is the one. Done. Now region is South A actually. AP South one, okay. So region is AP South. So done, guys. Authentication is also set. Now can I try now? Plan. See here, lots of output, read it. The last one you get it. How many resources will be added? 1. How many change? 0. How many destroy? 0. So what to do? So as per the discussion, plan is also done. Plan is a dry run. And finally, can I apply? All of you, if you are comfortable?
Yes, Rajesh, you can apply.
Yes. Yes.
So here, apply. See here. I did that. Now apply will ask you confirmation. Are you sure these resources will be created? Yes, I'm sure. Yes. And now she's creating a resources. Let me go to AWS. Here, I have a 2 resources already running. This is the one and this is the one. This got created just now. You see that still initializing. See here, hello world. And look at the code tagged with the hello world. T3 micro. Created. You saw that everything is done. 1 is added, 0 to change. And see here. Done. So this is the way creation done. Now what to do? So suddenly my manager came and said, Rajesh, okay, this code is working fine, but can you add a few more resources? So I said, yes, I can do that. So let me add a GitHub resources also. So I'll create one more file here. It's for management. I can feed every code in one file also. I told you initially. Git resources.tf. Okay. Now I'll open up this file. Provider is already added. Now I'll go to the GitHub resources and I will ask, how can I create repository using GitHub? Click on it here. I'll say, hey GitHub provider, tell me how do I create a repository? So documentation, the resources, small one, okay. This provider is small one. AWS is a huge one, first return provider. I'm going through all these resources, and this one will create a repository. See that here? This is the code. Here is the code. So here, GitHub repository, name of this resources in Terraform, name of the repository there. I'll make it a unique, okay, because this one, some description, visibility public. This template I don't need it, so I'm not creating from some template. That's all. So this will create a repository. Now can I go and plan? Init is only for downloading the provider. Plan always. See here. See here. Only one resources to add. 0 to change, 0 to destroy. See which resources? GitHub. So earlier it was created already, which is here, which is not showing. So now remember that one thing I said, you write a code, you send to Terraform, Terraform send divert to the provider, provided to the API call for the each provider. API response code will be stored in state file. Where is the state file? Here it is. This is the state file. This is a JSON file. You should not touch. Let the Terraform control. You can interact with this file through the command. I'll teach you. Okay. So like that. So now what to do? There's one repository will be created. Can we run it? What is this? Apply again. And you see here. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So guys, what is this? I'm not able to understand.
Authentication.
Authentication.
Yeah. Same
Use
guys, other provider
authentication.
authenticate. Let's do that. Go to the GitHub. Go to the GitHub. Go to the setting. Go to the developer setting. Pat. This is a flashed. I'll delete this. New password. Test demo. Something like that. How many days? For time being, I'm not following the best practices blindly. I'm giving every access. What's practice? But just I don't want to feed wrong. I mean, don't want to feed not required input in your mind. I generated. So this is the GitHub. How do I feed it? So I will ask GitHub only, hey GitHub, tell me. So here downside authentication. No. Here GitHub documentation. Here authentication. Pat, I got it. There's another way authentications also. So this is a token. Done. But you know what, guys? Pat is done, setup, but I don't want to create in my repository, my own repository. I want to create in the some organization which is I created for demo like this, which is called demo temporary. This organization I want to create. So organization I want to create here, not in my account, default one. So what should I do? So I will ask provider, hey provider, tell me how can I provide the organization? So here owner is there, this is optional. It is here also, but deprecated. So owner can use this, yeah. So let's use this owner. Done, guys. So now I'll show you this repository. So repository is this is one. So let's check it out. Apply. Yes. Done. Refresh. Got it? Yes. So now you know that if you want to create a resources like that, keep adding the resources and their arguments. Plan, apply, plan, apply, plan, apply. Did you understand this flow now? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
So now guys, I need to see what resources has been created. How do I see? So there are some few commands also there, like a git, sorry, Terraform show. I have a 2 resources, so the output will not be clumsy. But if you have a 200 resources, this will not work. Okay. So here you see there's a one resources which is here, and there's another resources which is here. Now you know what? You see that there's the output. Okay, what is IP address here? EC2 instance. Okay. So this is the one, and all this thing you can get it. This is coming from state file. Show command is coming from state file. See here, all this information. You want the URL? Here it is. Okay. So this you get comfortable with it. All the information which got created resources will be show command, which will read the state file, and we can see that. Okay. Sorry. So that is a one thing. Now finally, I should do delete. So delete, just imagine guys, understand that simple way. You write a code.
Rajesh, I'm sorry.
Huh.
Rajesh, actually, I'm facing some problem with, I won't be able to see it full screen. Why only the half of the screen I can see? I don't know.
Is it for everyone or something?
It's
When
only for
I
me.
just try to make it, full screen, whatever you write on the top, I'm not able to see that. So it
Probably
is
rejoin
happening.
that because from my side I don't.
Yes, I'm also feeling the same thing. So if you can maybe please enlarge the that particular one, maybe to see.
All the times, I see only the small screen where I need to struggle to see what you're writing, or what the URL is, or whatever it is. It's
Can you check now?
Once maximize your screen, Rajesh.
No, my question is everyone is facing the same problem?
No, no,
No, no.
it's fine. No, it is fine
So
for me.
on
No.
the top, I'm sorry for the
okay.
interrupt. On the top, you need to hide everyone, and then you just need to toggle full screen on the left,
Okay,
right side.
okay. I'm sharing my screen. If you give me the permission, I'll share my screen and let me know what I need to do.
Okay, just a second. Durga, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just a second. Okay, I'll just pause the recording for some time because
Yeah, yeah.
unnecessarily content will be there.
Sure.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So just guys visualize the power of Terraform in your mind. Okay. So you wanted, just assume you wanted to create 200 resources in AWS. In this file, you put it 200 resources. In Git, Google Cloud, Azure, all these 500 resources you wanted to create, you put it up. And you know what? The same code will be copied by all of your colleagues and they will run, plan, apply, and they can create their own resources. And in one go itself, see, they can destroy. So every resources, which you don't need to clean manually each and everything. In one go, everything can be destroyed and everything can be created. Just imagine the power of it. So right now you have two resources, but imagine if you have 500 resources. So how it's easy to do the coding for the entire infrastructure and reuse that code again and again for and multiple people, multiple stake. You can run in the development environment, QA environment, production environment, same code. And how much time it will save. So right now I am destroying the resources. I said Terraform destroy, and you see that magic. Refresh this. I had another resources, but only that resources got deployed. I have other VMs, but only that VM gone. So this is the something which is a power of Terraform. So now I believe you understood entire flow of Terraform. How can you write a code which is in HCL? How can you apply that
Rajesh,
code?
all resources will be deleted, na?
Yes, all resources will be in this particular project will be deleted, and you saw that here. See, GitHub and AWS also.
So Rajesh, here I have a small question. So we have written only project one, and I see that you are in project one, and from there you are applying the command, right? So only the project one resources getting deleted. If I have multiple projects, then I have to come out of that project directory and then execute, right?
Wonderful experience. Yes, same observation. You have wonderful, also not experience, sorry, observation. Yeah.
So all the projects resources will be getting deleted.
Huh.
So we
I
need to
just said
be
no. This
careful.
line, if you remember,
Yeah.
this line, if you remember, this one.
Hmm. And provided that all having the same access code and all, right? Because if uh, yeah, that is again, we need to define it in
Roles,
access and all. Yeah, yeah,
groups. Yeah.
yeah.
IAM groups.
Hmm.
Okay, so now we completed this flow, but now what we will do, we'll mature the programming. We'll have to learn a little bit more. So guys, we have to learn a little bit something like, let me tell you. So I told I'm last session, if you remember, and I've always tell, if you learn the programming, we are learning the coding, right? So you have to learn few more things also, correct now? So what are the things? So you have to learn variables, correct? You need to learn operators, correct? You need to learn conditioning. You need to learn iterator. This will not leave you. You need to learn functions, correct? So these are the things you have to learn. You have to learn modules, which is something like a uh, you know grouping the code and all, packaging. This is, so all these things you need to learn because we are learning the coding. But don't get scared. Don't get scared. So easy actually. This is so easy. So what do we do in this case? So I need a little bit of slide help here. So let's go for slide. So Terraform, because I don't want to type too many things. So here, so variables. So in Terraform, basically, when it comes for dealing with the variables, there are three areas. One is called input variable. Input variable means a variable which you declare and use it. And another one is called output values. Okay, output values, which I think you might have noticed the Terraform show, right? So in Terraform show, you have everything. But what about if I sum up the values after the apply, I want to display on the screen itself? So we can use output values. I'll show you that one also. And local values, I'll just ignore it. So this slide is very important. And for this slide only, I came to the PPTs. So now the question is, where can you declare the variables in the Terraform? Where? So guys, many places you can declare the variable. You can declare the variable in the Terraform file also. That is, here you see the bottom, variables.tf, any tf file. You can declare the variable in an environment variable of your system also. How? So in the environment variable, you have to prefixed with tf underscore var and then variable name. You can declare the values in these three files: terraform.tf vars, terraform.tf vars.json, and the above pattern. And you can declare the variables and value over the command line also. Now let's say you declare the variable but you did not set the values. Please hear me out clearly. You declare the variable but did not set the values and use that variable. Then you know what? When you run the plan or apply, Terraform will prompt you for that value. That's called interactive. Terraform asks for required values, not otherwise provided. And module, just skip it because this is a topic which I have not covered. So now you'll ask me one question, Rajesh, what about if I declare the variables, same variables, every places? Then which will be having the highest precedence? I think answer you have with you. Correct now? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, Rajesh, I got you.
Yeah, Rajesh.
So now I'm not complicating too much here. I will let you do that offline, but I will have your help with this my tutorial Terraform variables. Okay, and here it says Terraform variables complete reference guide. This I'm sharing in the notes. Okay, for this. Now these are the variables type you see here: number type, string type, list type, map, and boolean. So whatever type you have available in a Golang, you will have here also. Okay. Now where you can declare the variables. So these are the things with examples given. So yes, I will not complicate the program right now because we have only 4 hours, and that is a limitation. So yeah, go ahead with some variables. So I have decided. Sorry. So I have decided I'll show you the variables which is in the TF file itself. Okay, so TF file itself. So how can you do that? So let's use some of the files, and the file, let me see, this is the no, this is the string, right? And this is also string. So use this variable, string variable, and so here I'm putting in the TF file only. Okay, what is this? One variable and two variable, and variable AMI. Okay, AMI, and second was type AWS EC2 type. Okay, now this is the type AMI string also, and default value is this one, and this is also string, and default value is this one. Now so this is the two variable I declare. Now we have to make it var dot. So how do you call it the variables in Terraform? Var and dot AMI. And here var dot are you understanding, guys, all of you?
Yeah.
So yes, I declared two variables in the Terraform file itself. See, I showed you multiple places you can declare variable. You can declare in Terraform file, environment variable, command line, values you can declare in this place, precedency and all. So yeah, I'm just doing one variable declaration. So this is done, two variable AMIs, this one I'm using is var dot and done. Now you know what, guys, this is variable done. Now you know, okay, let it be same. Now I'm really not sure whether the code which I modified is having any issues or not. So how do I do that? So I will ask Terraform, do you have any commands which will help me to validate the syntax of my TF file? So I will ask Terraform, give me. And I'm reading, and then suddenly up I see validate. You got it, all of you?
Yeah,
All of
Rajesh.
you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here Terraform validate, and we'll get to know whether my code is correct or not, rather than before running apply, plan and apply, and it says, hey, yes, your code is good, wonderful. So now plan, remember I destroy that everything. So now I have again two resources, because last one I destroy that. And you see here two resources, one is a repo, one is EC2 instance, and I'll go for again apply. And yes, done. So yes, variable has been what do you say, variable has been, what do you call it, this keyword I'm missing all the time, transform, no, interpolated. Yes, it's been interpolated. That's the reason you have this one, right here. Done. And finally work is done and destroy. But right now just hold up for a second. So now guys, this is the way multiple types of variable you can declare. This URL which I have showed you, right, which has lots of example and explanations and all, spend some time and all. Now next one which I said, which I'll cover, which is called output values. So the problem with this code, you know guys, I want to know the EC2 instance which got created a public IP address, or I want to know the whatever the repository is created, the URL of it. How do I know? How do I know? So you will say, Rajesh, you can go for Terraform and run show. Just imagine you have a two resources and we have so much of output actually. Just imagine in a file you have 500 resources. What would be your condition? Don't you think you get a mad, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, so solution I'm having it, Terraform given that solution, and that is called output variable, output values. So how do I do that? In the code itself, you write output. How? Let me show you. So here, this is the AWS, right? So let's output. What is the name? I need IP address. But from where? Value, where? So value is, this is the resource name. Wonderful. This is the Terraform name of the resources. Wonderful. So aws.web. Wonderful. I got it. Now, you know what? It's a coding time. So where is it? This is the GitHub, right? So go for, this is the resource name, and this is this one, and after that dot, what field? Look at this, public IP, right? Correct now? Public IP. So now this value from this one will be shown on the terminal one. Let me do something similar with the GitHub also. URL, GitHub URL, watch from where? From this resources dot example, and this one is good. No, this is a clone URL. Okay, you want to browse, right? So I think this one will be good, right? HTTP URL, correct now?
Yeah, exactly.
This. Now guys, I modify the code. No need to plan and all. Apply. No resources will be created because it's already created. But I should see output variable on the screen. Output values on the screen. Sorry. Yes. See, 0 created. But guys, don't you think so? Life has become so easy now. So you created a 500 resources, but only you want the output to be seen. Something you can see that time save. Got it?
Yes.
See,
Yeah, Rajesh.
nothing, not great. I mean, don't need to scare from the coding. This is called declarative coding, guys. See, earlier we were doing compiled coding, means Java, then interpreted Python, then declarative. This is the declarative coding in SC. Okay, so this is the way. So I wanted to talk about the variables. Yes, I gave you the glimpse of it. Again, required a practice from each one of you. I'm so sorry, I'm not having dedicated time for covering each and every things and show you the demo. But yeah, you will understand that the fear inside what you have, at least for this tool, you will be away from that. And after that, you can practice. Okay, so that is the variable is done. What next? So next is operators. Operators I will show you through the website. and this will be easy for me. So by the way, even one programming language, if you know operator, I don't need to teach you operator at all. So this is the operator. Do I need to teach you all this thing? See that here? Tell me, all of you guys, what is this?
No.
Operators.
I guess it is better if you go with the last two, I guess. Double and I
Yeah,
don't know
I'll show you the
those.
example. Yeah, few examples I'll show you. But guys, here see that there are so many operators which we have: arithmetic operator, equality operator, comparison operator, logical operator, okay, and so on. So these are the operator more or less we understand. Now the question is how to use it. So in expression here in this place you can use expression, you can use here. So I'll show you the simple way. There's one more functionality I want to teach you, and that is called console. So console basically is a way to test your code faster. See what I'm doing, I'm writing a code here, then running it and then seeing the output. That's like really irritating. But if you want to quick check, then use the console. Okay, and you are on console right now. You are on console. What to do? 2 plus 2. So where is the operator here?
In between
What?
2 plus 2.
Yeah. So this is the way. Quick check also. Terraform console, you can quick check any operators or any functions also, by the way. For example, there's one function. I have not discussed the function, but let's say lower is one function, okay? And Ramu Kaka. Oh, it's Ramu Kaka in capital, no? Ramu Kaka. This is a function. Lower is a function, okay? See? So console, you can also use it, explore a little bit of it more. Okay. By the way, someone said, what would be the logical and probably, right? This one. This is
Yeah.
logical or. So when you have logical and a logical or, what will be the value? So logical and logical or give you the return value true and false. It's basically, it's what do you say? What do you say? I'm keeping forgetting nowadays that keyword. Boolean. Okay, so results of this and this will give you the Boolean. For example, if you see that here, example you want to see here, A and B. So if A is set and B is set, return true. So truth table, have you studied, all of you?
Yeah.
Truth table? Yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
think probably
Yes.
truth table, let me remind you actually. Image, see here, and or logical and, okay, this is not a logical and. Where is that? And or you'll find
On the
many
right
places.
side, it's there.
Is there?
Yeah, this is the and or XOR.
Yeah.
The
Truth
screenshot
table.
which is already open.
I'm looking for the easy things. This is also there, but I want in the same format what I am having in Terraform. Means concept is same. I just I'm looking the format actually. Not getting it. Yeah, but anyways, any pictures for time being, you understand that this table, so it'll be easy for you to work with it. Yeah, so this is the stuff. So here we have operators, multiple operators. You can use it to get it done. Now I have, I think, one tutorial also written in this one, operator, Terraform operators. I think no. It's okay, but official document is sufficient for us. No. Okay, so now what is the next thing? Conditioning and iterators, means looping and conditioning. How do we do that in Terraform? And for this, we will have to continue after the break. So after the break, I'll teach you conditioning, iterator, function, and last topic, which is module. In fact, let me add a workspace also, if time permits, and remote backend also, if time permits. So basically, every topic which we have in Terraform, probably I should try to cover and show you at least one demo for each one of it. Okay, any questions anyone have before we go for the break?
Rajesh, this is Durga Prasad again.
Yeah.
So I have seen that you are working on this Windows platform, right, with Terraform.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, like we used to work in Linux. So will there
Yes.
be any major differences? I see that while downloading or extracting the packages, installing the packages will be different commands, right? So
Okay.
are you
So
showing those?
this
Are
question
you
I will
showing?
not answer. This question
Okay.
I'm expecting from this all of you. So tell me, guys, very
Sorry,
yeah, this is a
sorry.
very
What was the
genuine
question
question.
actually?
Yeah, I'll repeat it. The
It is
question is,
usable for
whatever I
Linux.
just a second, give me a second. Whatever I did in Windows, would you have any changes in the Mac or Linux? Tell me.
No, actually, it doesn't have any
It
changes.
should not actually,
Actually,
right?
both is
So
same,
basically,
and
it's yeah.
only thing is here we use something called as folders, and there it is directories and all.
No, I mean that is we all understand. We all are
Yeah.
software
So
engineers.
basically, it's a provider, right? So provider is the interfacing here, so it should not be any change.
Yeah. So theoretically and conceptually and practical ways also, not even 1% of the changes. Only thing, the moment you install the Terraform, the code will be same, command will be same, behavior will be same, output will be same, and it's just the one thing will change, and that is, I'll tell you guys, that one thing will change, and that is, just a second, give me 2 seconds. I think
So at an OS level, it's a .exe on
that
Windows and
executable, just a second,
.ssh
hold
on.
on. I'm
Yeah.
getting lost in my computer nowadays. So here, one thing will change, and this will be automatically done. You don't have to do manually anything, and that is, providers this executable will be Linux actually. This is a Windows, okay? So when you do the init, you download, because they detect that Windows operating system, this will be Windows. But if you do the same command in the Linux, it will be this different executable for Linux supported. Or if you do in the Mac, then it will be Mac supported. That's all the difference what you have. So Durga, did you understand that, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understood. But I faced a little bit problem while working with that projects. So one of the project and the other project. So linking between the projects, I somewhere.
Okay, okay. Just wait for this topic. I'll simplify this confusion actually. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. One more thing. Any problems, any errors, any confusion, any type of question, please put it in WhatsApp group. No question is stupid question. It's just the context we require. So put it in WhatsApp group, and we will help you, and maybe other people also. Because DevOps is all about the sharing. Whatever you know, let's share with the whole world. That's how we grow. So we can do that. So put it in the group. We'll answer that.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
so guys, let's go for the break. It's a 15 minutes of break, 1-5. Grab your tea, coffee, restroom, personal calls, and come back in 15 minutes, and then I'll resume and cover these topics. Bye, everyone. Same meeting.
Yeah.